Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. What's happening, blacks? Hey, how you guys doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl hat. Ladosha, right? With the hat on, that's right. AKA Key Lolo, that's right. Coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio. And then my fellow haberdasheryist. Is that such one? I'm going to make it up. Haberdasheryist. And notice we have the same hat. Y'all notice that? This is how cold-blooded we are. That's right. It's Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. What's wrong with her? There she is right there. What's happening, good people? Yeah. Hey, they coming through the chat. Either y'all want to see the hats or y'all want to talk about this dynamic discussion we're going to have on our 147th episode. No, it's 148. Good Lord, 8 nickels. I'm just we got too many. 140. Let me get it right. I don't want to mess up because somebody probably counting. They like 148th episode of the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. And tonight we're talking about, man, when I tell you some dumb stuff they say about the scalp, tonight this is our topic. And if you have any, and I do mean any, concerns about your scalp, we're starting off by asking you guys, what have you learned from the natural hair movement about your scalp? And so, Cheryl, what do you think about this discussion?
The most important element to having what we also talk about too damn much is hair. Can't happen without a healthy scalp. Or just us focusing on scalp is just the most important.
It's just so Cheryl was like, you doubt. Now remember, in case some of you guys might be new to our platform, so of course we want to welcome each and every last one of you, whether you're joining us on Facebook, whether you're rocking it out with us on LinkedIn, of course, our YouTube family, how y'all doing out there? We got some shout outs coming very soon. Then of course, our family over on Instagram. We are always excited to have all of you join us, especially when we get into the seriousness of topics like the scalp. And so this particular podcast is called The Dumbest. Isn't that right, Cheryl?
And you what?
And I do mean, I'm talking about unequivocally. That's my new word for today. Unequivocally, and I do mean the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. This is your podcast. It is consumer driven. It is specifically for people who have been duped by mis and disinformation. I learned that term from my brother Uncle West, who taught me that a couple of episodes ago. And so misinformation and disinformation is not a good thing, okay? And so what we do here on this podcast is we kind of bust that all up. Yeah. And it makes people feel uncomfortable, as we saw last week. Why is the truth hard for a lot of people?
About scalp or just this?
I mean, especially like the reason why we did this podcast, like we said, because we work in the industry. Yeah. And so I cannot tell you how many people come into the hair salon. When I tell you these people have been brainwashed and ripped off, that's what I see. Brainwashed and ripped off, and they still are not happy with their hair. As a professional, we have to do something about it. And so Cheryl and I, well, Cheryl said it was me, but I say it was her. I said it was Cheryl's idea to have, this is a candid discussion. And so we're not the gatekeepers and we don't know everything. So we've been corrected here. So we welcome the corrections because Cheryl said it is vital to our growth and development that we critique and we receive feedback about information that we're giving out. But for some reason, that's really difficult. And Cheryl, you think that is because in the hair industry, it's it's really hard when you try to, I don't know, Cheryl, what you think?
I think because they don't think that there is really any scholar attached to it. And I think that they believe that it's just technical. I think that they believe that there is no science. I think they believe that if there is an experience, such as being a Black woman, being a Black man, since you grow it, therefore you are free to make it up.
And what are the dangers of making it up?
Well, first of all, as an industry, the danger is that we're unable to talk to dermatologists and other medical professionals, dermatological professionals, cosmetic surgeon professionals, trichology. We're not able to communicate with them about what we are seeing as a professional, as the top expert in the cosmetology field. And so when you have subgroups like, let's say, the natural hair providers and clinicians and nutritionists, braiders, and like I said, trichology or trichologists, we need to be able to communicate what we have learned, not just in the study of it and the ology of it, but in the day-to-day physical styling. We see the scalp, we deal with it, and we can communicate with gynecologists, endocrinologists, nutritionists. We can do all these things and help healthcare in the medical world as a whole. But if we just make it up, then some of these things that and other professionals are probably trusting that we know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Consumers believe that we know what we're doing. And so when we just make it up, and then when it comes out to be not true, or we have some difficulty validating what we're saying, or we cannot deal with epidemiologists and deal with studies and case studies, and we don't know how to decipher this for the consumer, then we're doing the consumer or the public good, or the public, we're not doing them
a service. So in other words, you're
yeah,
saying it's a dangerous thing. It's a
absolutely.
dangerous thing. And so we do now this particular podcast, we are 148 episodes in this. It's all about scalp concerns from itchiness to tightness to dryness and more. As a matter of fact, the entire month is all about scalp care. We're going to do this in a series, starting off with the actual scalp itself. We're going to begin to talk about some of the disorders. And then the second Monday, we're going to go a little bit more into those disorders. And then we're going to talk about, hair growth and things of that nature. And then we're going to talk about what we see like in the future of scalp care, because we are going to be a part of the beauty under one roof. That's Bure, and we're gonna have Urker come back on so we can let the licensed professionals know that the Afro Hair Summit is going to be held there this year. That's going to be in Houston. That's in Houston, correct? That's Houston, Texas, right?
That is Houston, Texas.
Okay, so that's Houston, Texas. So we're going to be there, and so a lot of people are like, "Well, why can't y'all just talk about it on YouTube? Why can't we just, click onto a YouTube video?" And again, Cheryl just shared with you, that's not the place where you want to learn this. You want to be, in a classroom setting. It's lecture style. You want to take notes, get your questions ready, because the scalp is serious business. Like the people in our chat, it's a happy birthday, everybody, to our homegirl, Miss Lawana. I got to get those balloons. I'm going to have them on Thursday. I thought it was this Saturday, but that's okay. We do have our virtual host, Miss Wike, and Sandra E is in the chat. And you do know that, yeah, and they want you guys to hit that thumbs up button. And then also we have Theo. What's up, brother Theo? And
What's
then
up?
we got, I saw you, where did she go? I said, what's up, Kay? Fall Q's, how you doing? We love to see our family come through. Oh, Selena, you've been rocking it out. So I'm gonna have to, I keep telling everybody from the RDT to come on and join the chat, and you might win something. And so Selena, like, I'm just taking up all the goodies. So Selena, you're gonna get 50% off of your next salon visit. And so for your hairstyle, so that's gonna be a cool 50% off your hairstyle, because you're always supporting, always sharing. And if you compliment the hat, then I will give you a compliment. You tell me I look good and it's on and crack a lacking. And so what's up? So Kay, it's so nice to see you in the chat. We got Mr. Cafele. What's happening,
What's
everybody?
up?
Please put your hands together for the King of Lock, Mr. Cafele. And don't forget, we're also celebrating LB's birthday. So give them both a big round of applause. As y'all can see, I'm getting better with the interface. It took me a minute. I hope our virtual co-host, I'm sorry, de facto producer, Esther would come in, because I'm getting a little bit better. But anywho, so welcome. And so this is going to be, again, a podcast that we believe you all are going to be really impressed with. And so I went over to TikTok and got some reels. Now, one of the things that we want to be doing too, Cheryl, is Cheryl, we talked about pulling up some videos and doing some some feedback on some of the popular content that we're hearing about the subject matter. So you guys are going to see a lot more of that. And we just want to reiterate again that our critique is not on the people themselves, but it's the content, and it's up to the person to learn more. What's up, Trish? How you doing? Welcome, Trish, into the chat, everybody. We love having you on. That's our homegirl, Trish, the natural. Everybody that's here on YouTube, make sure you guys follow each other. Okay, we should be supporting one another. We must do that. And if you're over on Instagram, make sure you go and follow. What's up, Miko Pearson? How you doing? Kenyatta the stylist. So make sure you join everybody. Follow us and follow each other, so that we can keep the platform going, and it won't look like it's just us, me and Cheryl, because y'all got something to say about this topic too, right, Cheryl?
Absolutely, especially the barbers.
And yes. So we're going to go ahead. We ain't going to take too long, because this is content heavy. As a matter of fact, all of these Mondays, it will be content heavy. And if you are a licensed professional or a natural hairstylist, be on the lookout for Beauty Under One Roof, because you can get more education during the Afro Hair Science Summit, which is going to be about scalp. Surprisingly enough, we didn't even plan it that way. It just so happened that is going to be the focus. And you know me, I'm always transparent about my my fight with misinformation, because I use so much of it in my career. But before we hop into the topic, can we all give a super duper big shout out to Miss Fatu Same Gay? There she is. She is here in the United States. Yes, she has. She is representing the Gambia at the Commission on the Status of Women, and this is a large international conference with women from all over the world, and they have ascended upon New York City. And so this is what it's looking like. She's giving me some inside scoop. Look at that. Can you believe that? This is all women. This is Women's History Month. And so on Thursdays, we are bringing on women, and we're going to be talking about the important role of women in science and hair care. So let's give a big round of applause for Fatu. And all of the women from all over the world who are, doing their part to make sure, that we understand the role of women, and not only in cosmetology, of course, that's just in all the disciplines, that people are in across the globe. So we're really, really happy for Fatu. So she's going to join us on Thursday to talk about this, because this is the type of stuff, sure, you would like to see in our industry. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
It'd be nice if we could have barbers and cosmetologists, and this is the perfect picture when you say so, Cheryl. Like, you couldn't capture this on YouTube. You have to go to these types of events to get that type of information, because they're helping these women understand what their task is in their various capacities, and you can't do that on YouTube. So I thought that was very that's a large audience right there. And then there's Fatu and her cohort from Gambia. And so there you have it. And so this is good. This is absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
And again, that is happening in New York City. And you can Google it. It is called the Commission on the Status of Women. And it's like a think tank. That's what it is. It's a think tank specifically for the international community of women working in various capacities. And they're going to have speakers and all types of wonderful events. Fatu will be here on Thursday to give us the Huggy Lowdown. And of course, that is with the intent to encourage you guys to come to the Beauty Under One Roof.
Yes.
Boutique educational event. And so, Cheryl, can you just reiterate before we get into the topic why it is important that we come together and we can do things like what you're seeing right here? And so, of course, we like YouTube. Don't get it twisted. After all, we are on all of the social media platforms. But again, there's something to be said about sitting, learning, hearing, educator or a speaker, whatever you want to call it, so talk about that. And then we got our clips. We're going to get ready, and you guys get your questions ready. I think Cheryl is ready for all of it. Y'all know me, I'm the shit starter, and I'm going to start it. That's why I'm talking about it. So Cheryl, kick it off with why this education is important. And we're going to just get our little clips. I did bring up some posters for you, by the way, Cheryl. So you can let me know which one you want. I have the Afro, I have your original Afro hair science poster, and I have the new one. So if you want, I'll show you. Tell me which one to take up, take down. Okay.
All righty.
All right.
And let me just say this: we're all invited in to create a space for new age thought, new conversation, a new way to contemplate and to solve problems, to present new problems, to get a breadth and a wider pool of thought leaders, right? And so we come to the Afro Hair Science Summit, and just in the summit that you just saw, all of those ideas, I don't know as much as of an important aspect of Black culture as it all encompasses the diaspora of Afrocentric thought when it comes to beauty and health and scalp and skin, right? And mental health, well-being, and just the whole gamut. All starts with think tanks, and not just one thought, not my thought, not just Ladosha's thought, or even Irker Coleman's, which is the facilitator and the coordinator. It's not about that. It's about having a space for all of us to come to make the industry healthy, profitable, and precise.
All right.
Us to get on one set of truths so we can have and serve the greater public good.
All right. So there you go. We've set the tone for why education is important. So don't use this podcast to answer all your problems. Let it kind of wet your whistle. You know what I'm saying? Let it get you flatulate your liquids and get your mouth all salivate like, oh, I want some more. Okay. Especially if you are new to the industry, or like if you were like me, where I had been in the industry for 25 years, 25, and was really comfortable with mis and disinformation. admittedly so. And you can see my growth here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel from before I met Cheryl till after. So you don't feel bad if you have been using this to kind of, get your kids through college. But just because it's wrong, that's okay, but you have to make the changes. So let's hop into our first video. So Cheryl says that a clean scalp is what sets the tone for beautiful hair. Now, remember, we are doing this from the natural hair movement perspective. And before I show the clip, Cheryl, give your opinion why we are doing this, because we are critiquing that natural hair movement, and cosmetologists, we gotta own some of that too, right? Because we've been regurgitating a lot of this misinformation. Now, I'm just talking about me. I ain't talking about y'all, unless you want to confess in the chat. That's your business. But Cheryl, why is it important that we hit this conversation about the scalp, critiquing the mis and disinformation? All of these clips, they are misinformation and disinformation. I'm just going to put that up there, right? So it's the content. So why are we specifically spending a whole year critiquing that natural hair movement? And then I'm going to get that video as soon as you're done.
And
hit that thumbs up button.
Right. And I like the disclaimer that in the years of the development of cosmetology, first, did not scientifically pertain to Afro curly hair. So we do realize that. But one of the things that the cosmetology or black hair care, the industrial complex that we know, at least applied the closest set of sound principles from the scientific world as possible. And that is what black hair care and cosmetology is built on. Now, because then we get to the era of a Dr. Morrow. From 1965, we have cutting Negro hair. And so as the world's expert on the subject matter of black skin and black hair, as it pertains to hair follicles and skin and beard and scalp, that particular thought is the contemporary way that we dealt with chemical treatments and formulation and innovation. One of the reasons why we focus on the natural hair movement, because one, it belongs to the 2000 season. That's number one. Number two, it is the only movement that is separate from its predecessor, which is what we've never had. It is born out of an antithetical movement and is disconnected from its mother movement. The natural hair care, it happened before. And so because it's so antithetical to that, and it has the largest body of made up terms, made up concepts, made up science, and pseudo intellectualism, that is why. And this is not to vilify the developers and product line owners and founders that it belongs to this era or this particular genre called natural hair. It is not to vilify them personally. What it is for us to correct it in present day so we can move forward in the 21st century and be able to service and to teach and to share our knowledge that is closest to what science says and not what we personally and colloquially think.
Yeah. Right. And that's what we hope you guys walk away with, because this is what I teach everybody who work with me, and we teach each other. I don't want y'all to think I'm like the Grand Poobah up in there. That's my granddaughter's nickname, Grand Poobah. Had to put that in there. But that science is the great equalizer. It's going to counterpoise a lot of this. So that's what we're going to use. This will not be an opinion in response or clapbacks, whatever y'all want to call it. So here we go. Here is our first video, and it is going to, now this is what they say in the natural hair community, that a clean scalp sets the tone for healthy hair, which we do concur. Here we go.
The same way you would not apply skincare to a dirty face and expect results, you cannot apply product to a dirty scalp and expect healthy hair growth. A clean scalp is literally where hair care starts. I'm using Pattern Scalp Detox before I start my wash day. It helps remove product buildups, dandruff, excess oil, you name it, and it alleviates dryness. I love that it's a serum, so it's very gentle and soothing while it's purging.
Okay, so let's start off with it is true that a clean scalp or healthy scalp sets the tone for a beautiful hairstyle. But we want you guys to just see the seam in this outfit. For some reason, scalp care is synonymous with hair growth. So what I would like for you to do, Cheryl, on that video, is number one, just tell them off the rip what is, in your professional opinion, a healthy scalp. That's number one. And number two, does this, detoxifying and cleansing and oil pulling or whatever they want to call it, of the scalp, is it associated with hair growth? So we're going to start off. We're just going to hop right into it so you guys can understand, well, what is a healthy scalp and does it make your hair grow? Let's go. Drop your questions in the chat. Go ahead.
Damn, Kilolo. Okay, but I'm going to answer the question as if I was in a room full of PhDs.
Okay.
Which will make it easier for me and simply so I can shut up. All right.
We like when you break it down. I don't know what you're talking about, but anywho, go ahead.
But to the video, one of the things that I wish we would understand is that the scalp skin is different than the scalp of your eyebrows, your mustache, your beard, and your under your arms, and your pubic area on the hair on your arms and legs, right? And so we don't think about those areas like we think about our legs or hands or arms or underarms or pubic areas or eyebrows. And it's the reason why is because for some reason we have it in our head that the scalp is somewhat dirtier than those other areas.
Wow.
Right? Okay. And so, but we don't understand is that we're marketed to clean it because of capitalism. You guys do not think about your scalp the way you do because of the medical world or the dermatological world. You think about it from the aisle, from the maintenance aisle. So you got words like clogging from the marketing world. You got dandruff and dander and you have so much overload of information. Psoriasis.
Don't forget, can you forget dirt? Please include dirt. People swear this
right.
The scalp
right. Unless you have actually put your head in dirt, you don't have dirt in your hair.
Right. And you're getting some love over on Instagram. Sorry for cutting you off. Miko Pearson is agreeing with you. What's up, Miss Priscilla? Hair addiction and Kenyatta. So yes. So they're agreeing with you. So so dirt is not on there. It's not clogging, And so you're saying that marketing has a lot to do with this,
right? Because you're marketed to put the moment. I want you to realize the video. She said cleaning is the most important part. But what was she doing? She was putting something back on, which later is going to be responsible, and she's going to call dirt.
Now there's fall cues because she wanted to know. Don't forget, please drop your questions in the chat. And the question is, isn't that light pick a bit abrasive? So here we have a woman.
And I was getting ready to hit that because one of the things that when I would do in my trichology practice, when you guys see and irritated, itchy, uncomfortable, sensitive, red, hot, or stinky, or discolored, out of pH kind of scalp. The last thing you want to do to that scalp is move it.
What is it? Why do we think that, remember, y'all remember how many people in the chat remember the term growing dandruff? Come on. Don't act like y'all are I the only person from the project up in this smoker joker. It's me, Key Lolo. Y'all know I keep it 100, okay? So the growing dandruff. Remember back in the day, you said the little boy or your auntie or maybe your grandma, your nana, whatever, and they took that comb. Let me take my hat off. Let me clear my throat. Y'all think I'm joking? Because she got the metal pick and they would part the hair and and they wanted you to come on, dig harder. Come on, get it up. Don't try to start getting bougie because Cheryl from San Diego up in here. It ain't just a northern or southern thing. Some of y'all was doing that in California too. They acting all shy, Cheryl. Everybody's scared to hit the key. Have you heard of the term growing dandruff? So Cheryl, I don't know if they're going to have the heart to admit it. So Lawana says she's never heard of it before, but when I was growing up, it was all about growing dandruff. So what's with the whole, when you see this stuff on your scalp, it's like a pimple where you just got to push it, or you got to take that comb. And thank you, Trish. I'm not saying you from the projects. I'm just saying you just gotta, you gotta just get that, and they want to lift it all the way up. So talk about.
So I'm going to tell you guys a little story. So, business partner of mine, one time we were taking a business trip to Hawaii, right? And she had just gotten her hair relaxed, right? Cut, boom, bam, laid out, right? By the time she got there, landed and everything, she had about this much skin on top of her head, and her head was really super sensitive, right? And at that point, it had come down to her forehead and came down. So the whole cap was like a white, and it was just really crusty. Okay. Now, we would probably walk into the salon and say, wow, oof, but the point here is that, to fall Q's point about that instrument, that metal instrument that she was doing that with, you guys have to understand, because scalp is a part of the largest organ, it is also, because of the composition and how the layers of the skin and how that is composed, when you scratch anything, your lip, back of your neck, your hand, you scratch that over in a repetitive time, it's going to get red, it's going to get sore, it is going to get irritated, and guess what you just did? You communicated to the immune system that you said injury. Then the wound.
But some will say that when you get to the shampoo bowl, come on, guys, where my natural hairstylist at? Or maybe if you have a dandruff problem, would you guys admit that sometimes when you shampoo and you're trying to, get in there really, really good, and you rinse and you come back, you still see fibrin or flakes, coming off on your clothes. So in their minds, this combing is lifting that up and it's aiding to make sure that you won't. So is that, come on, guys, talk to us. But
the problem is that your job as a professional and a natural hair care provider, your job is to not remove it. Your job is to not remove it, but you're trained to, because you're trying to make the hair pretty for styling. You are not medically addressing the issue. So you have to decide. And I used to tell all my clients or patients who are, if you were you leave pretty when you a client. You don't necessarily leave pretty when you're a patient, because we are trying to get the scalp from proliferating. We're trying to get the scalp from over producing.
So you're saying that the more we dig, we're going to make the scalp produce. Come on, let me drop the bomb on that. Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta drop the bomb. I don't think they feel you out here though. Let me just drop the bomb right quick. She said if you keep digging with that, you're going to make more flakes.
You cannot move the scalp. You're gonna have to take your time. It may take an hour. And see, one of the things, by the time these patients come, I know that so if they have to go to work or whatever the case may be, I have to take my time and lift. I cannot move that scalp like that, because the message to your red blood cells in your immune system is saying, go to that place. Let's try to create homeostasis as much as we can. Then once it catches the homeostasis phase, it's going to start going isolating blood red cells. White blood cells are going to get there. Pus is going to get there. Scabs are going to get there. Lipids are going to get there. Everything to try to heal the injury. Now, but every person who experiences flakes always keeps them, because you keep thinking, because the marketing person in this company is only trying to make you pretty. It's not trying to solve your problem. So all you're trying to do is just get rid of them. But the getting rid of them is what's going to keep you from keeping it. It's going to make you keep it.
Wow. Now, Miko Pearson is over here on Instagram, and she said that was like cradle cap. Now, some people say that
cradle cap is a whole
That's a whole nother one. Okay. All right. Okay, Miko, she says that now we're going to get more into some scalp disorders this week, guys. So come on and be ready to come back. So thank you, Miss Pearson, over here on Instagram. But before we head to the next clip, what about when people say, but Cheryl, it feels so good when that comb is just, digging in my scalp. And, I see hairstylists, it be popping. I think it's kind of gross burger. And is it dangerous for us to inhale while we're digging that stuff up? And
the product in and of itself is not contagious or see, here we go again, poisonous, hazardous, toxic, those are not all the same thing. So what is on the scalp is not necessarily toxic. No, you may not necessarily want to breathe it in, or don't want it to become airborne, but something that wet's not going to become airborne anyway. It's going to be stuck on your comb. You need to make sure that you keep clean your combs. All
right. So, it's funny. She just said, let me put my neck hat on because I don't want y'all to think Cheryl the cold is up in here. I'm in my YouTube room, so I got hats galore. What's up, y'all? We got my boss. Lovina is in the chat. Go ahead on and drop them L's. So Cheryl said it's all about the comb. So let's see what they are saying about using a comb when it comes to scalp care. Now remember, now I'm going to show one, Cheryl, and then I'm going to show the second one, okay? All right, so here we go. Using a comb, the calming dandruff. Here we go, Cheryl. Now, hold on. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. The lice comb has got you guys goat, right? So that is very popular. I wanted to show you that again. Now, in case you're not feeling the lice comb, because Cheryl talked about the comb. So Cheryl, here's the second one, combing your dandruff. Here we go.
Forbidden Parmesan, just kidding, this is actually my husband's dandruff. Got him this detoxing comb because he actually struggles with severe dandruff. This thing is crazy, it scoops it all up and then pushes it out when you press this button. I'm gonna link it for the people who struggle with dandruff too.
I'm gonna show it again.
Forbidden Parmesan, just kidding, this is actually my husband's dandruff. Got him this detoxing comb because he actually struggles with severe dandruff. This thing is crazy, it scoops it all up and then pushes it out when you press this button. I'm gonna link it for the people who struggle with dandruff too.
So, if this isn't an example of what Cheryl just said, okay? She said it's the marketing. So here's a comb manufacturer, right? Who is the antithesis of what Cheryl just said, where this comb allegedly is going to collect the dandruff so you don't have to do what the other two videos did and dust it off, and you can, dust your Parmesan flakes onto your, your towel. So what do you have to say about these various apparatuses and combing,
Well, it's the ideology is about taking your condition and disorder and just getting it away from you. Don't solve the problem of why the flakes and why the skin and scalp is proliferating. Don't get rid of what is causing it. Get rid of the look cosmetically. And those are what combs are for. Then you find yourself back and back and back. And let me just say this. When you put a word, and this is what we're trying to say why we need a think tank. When you use words like detoxing, that is not what's going on. The dandruff is not poison. The dandruff, you're not going inside of your gut and your system and detoxing, and that is, you can't detox anything from the outside.
We have so many detoxing shampoos. I used to use that word. How many people in the chat use the term or the word, the phrase detox in your service, in your shampoo? Come on, guys. We are here to learn. We are on our 148th episode of the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. We're talking about scalp concerns from tightness, itchiness, dryness, dandruff, and more. And so here we are asking you guys, okay, how many of you have used that term detoxifying or detox shampoo or detox treatment? And you're saying that is the misuse of the word. Now, is that an example of trying to dumb something down, or are we just misplacing it? Is it intellectual, whatever, pseudo intellectualism? What is that?
Intellectualism is to steal money from you.
Oh, really?
And of course, because dandruff could have a systemic cause, but usually it's an external cause, right? It's a pH issue. It could be obviously, drying or your skin. Your scalp is probably the most environmental, biosensitive part of your body, your skin. And because you expose it to so much bad water and so much cosmetics, things that keep shifting the pH, and then you are applying things that could be opposing to sebum or scalp, or the skin could have a adverse effect reaction, just like your eye skin would, or any other skin, your lips. You put on certain lip gloss or something, and your skin doesn't like it. That's because your skin sent a message to the immune system to tell you to freaking stop it. I don't like it. Doesn't go with your body chemistry. Whatever sign your immune system sends you, you're supposed to pay attention to that. You're not supposed to do a quick fix and just remove it. And as long as you don't see it, you have solved the problem, because you'll be right back at that aisle buying that same dandruff shampoo.
So we do. Sorry for cutting you off. We have confessions. I'm not the only one. So there are professionals and, consumers who have used the term, and I believed it, but I think that when I thought, now this is just me, when I was thinking of it as in detox, because that is how the company sold it. They don't teach this in cosmetology school. Let's just be honest, okay? They no, well, at least not when I was in there. They never even used the term detox. But they would say like it pulls like these impurities and heavy metal. So they would use this term detox. But you're saying that is not even what's happening if we were to use something called a detox or clarifier or
Right. And so if you did not put the toxicity on, why would you be detoxing? Because you guys are so hell-bent on buying natural. Now, you guys been using natural bullshit since 2020, 1997, 1996. Y'all been using that natural, but you're still cleaning as if you guys stuck your head in a oil.
Because we are, Cheryl. We're putting on this gel, this mousse, this hair grease, this lock butter, shea butter, coconut, juju bean, Jamaican black castor.
So why would it be toxic? So why would you need detoxing?
Come on, y'all. Let's get the answers out. Let's get it out of our system because this is our scalp. And Cheryl is letting us know off the rip. Let me just repeat you right quick. The closest set of sound scientific principles is coming from that licensed cosmetologist and cosmetic trichologist over there. So this is why we're doing this here. But this is what we believe, Cheryl, that when you put so much of it and it gets a build up, that it is toxic. Is anybody else feeling me? That's what I was thinking. That when you would,
it's just time to rinse it away. And the wonderful
you see the word she said, rinse. See, sure, you think you're so slick. Did y'all see that? I caught that, Trish. And Trish, we do stuff online. We did the Afro Hair Science Summit was online in October. So yes, we do. Sorry you missed it, but we do stuff online. But if you guys want us to do something, you got to email us so we can know who's serious, because this our time is very serious. So Miko over here says that usually the scalp is overactive and she changes the pH by treating the scalp.
Yeah, but treating the scalp with what?
All right, Trish, reveal what are you putting on the scalp to change the pH?
Right, let's say the scalp is too alkaline. What do you do to bring it down to becoming more acidic?
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna wait for her to respond. What do you put on the scalp? The scalp could be alkaline. So what are you doing to make it become more acidic? So Kay says, oh no, Cheryl, people do need to detox due to all. See, Kay, maybe you missed this, but I confess. So you see, Cheryl, here is where we're getting, and this is coming from the hair care companies when they educate us.
Right. The detox is a fancy word so you guys can be and feel smart and sound smart. But you didn't put anything on toxic. It's just you guys keep putting on. And let me just say this to you guys. By the time, and I want you guys to admit it, if a person pays Cheryl Morrow or Ladosha Wright, okay, WeK, or anybody in this chat, Trish the Natural, they pay you to wash your hair, then are they leaving dirty? Just admit, you just put on the same bullshit they're going to be washing off. Because, of course, the scalp and hair don't tell time. So they don't know it's 1 week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks. You just put on the same shit.
Guilty as charged. Miko, I think me, Miko, and Trish and Confetti are having some come to Jesus moments here. Yes, we do that. Right. We actually do.
So they leave dirty. Now, you guys are going to make heads or tails of this argument because you guys are going to say, well, they're paying you to style it. They're paying you to redo it. So at the end of the day, what kind of conscience do locticians have with taking the scalp through the very same thing, cleansing it, spraying it? Y'all gonna put on cranberry juice, apple cider vinegar. Y'all gonna put on
lemons. You know, we love to put lemons on.
Y'all gonna cook that scalp, right?
Baking soda. You know, everybody like that baking soda.
Right? And you're gonna put on the same wax. You're gonna put on the same styling aid.
That mousse. I know y'all be getting that.
And not only are you going to do that, you're going to do it when the scalp is so freaking sensitive. You have pulled it, you have scrubbed it, you have combed it, you have done this to it, you have done that to it, and you want to know why they keep it. They're going to keep the scalp issue.
Yeah, I call it the spend cycle. So before we answer Kafele's question, please explain, what do clarifying and dandruff shampoos do? We have our two virtual co-hosts. That's going to be Sandra E. and Wike is saying, Cheryl, show them what you guys, because this chat is full. So come on, guys, and show us some love right now and do this right here.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
Okay, show us some love right now and hit the thumbs up button, even if you're watching this after the live, because you have to admit that this information is the bomb.com. And in case you just kind of scrolled in, where are we at in this conversation about scalp concerns coming from the world of cosmetology and from the mind of a cosmetic trichologist? She says that we have the closest set of sound scientific principles to solve the problem, okay, to help get you some solutions. All right. Okay. So now we're not doctors. Okay. So we can't diagnose, do all of the crazy stuff. All right. So Cheryl, can you answer Mr. Kafele's question? And then we do have an answer from Miko of how she changes the pH. So answer Kafele's and I will give you her answer. This is getting good. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So Miko, we're going to get to you next with your response. And then Cheryl, let's answer Kafele's. Please explain, what is a clarifying and a dandruff shampoo? Like, what do they do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys remember there wasn't a word of clarifying before Aveda, right? We didn't clarify, right? Because the trends did not produce the need for it. The hairstyles we were doing prior to it did not require a strong acid-based shampoo. We only needed that when the birth of the natural hair world, because we were using very fatty, buttery, thick, waxy type of maintenance products, styling aids. To get the styling aid off, we needed to remove it. And instead of vilifying the actual wax and styling products in and of itself, industry, marketing rooms, marketing people, they sit their asses in an office and think of dumb shit to say. So without trying to vilify the styling products, because they know they want you to spend money on those, they needed to create a word. So they were created clarifying. You veteran hairstylists know it as what kind of shampoo?
We know it as a deep cleansing shampoo.
Okay. We also know it as neutralizing shampoo.
Oh, we gonna get it.
Which worked better than the ones we have on the market today. But because your predecessors don't know shit, you guys think of new dumb shit.
So deep cleansing, clarifying, Detoxing is all coming from the minds of your marketing mavens. Now, this is not, I'm telling you guys, trust me, when I first attended the very first Afro Hair Science Summit, I lost my freaking mind because my income was tied to these terms: clarifying, detox, deep cleansing. That's why I said that. But again, the closest set of sound scientific principles, hence the Afro Hair Science Summit, says neutralizing shampoos would be the more appropriate cleanser. So clarifying, detox, and deep cleansing, kefele, those are all marketing terms.
Now,
Okay, they
dandruff
don't do anything. So the dandruff part next.
right, but dandruff shampoo is a little different because it has a little more, I would probably say, a little more science in it in terms of that it includes what we call tar.
So we should not mix these interchangeably then.
No,
So, okay. So let me clear that up. Thank you so much. So a clarifying and a dandruff shampoo, according to the Hair Oracle, aka cosmetic trichologist, they are not the same thing. Do not use those synonymously. So thank you. In case you guys were not aware, please don't do that. And you said dandruff shampoos have a little bit more science, correct?
Right. They'll either have some kind of zinc, some kind of sun protection. They'll have some
I have this one here,
coal.
selenium sulfide.
Mhm.
And so there's now, but these are the chemicals that people don't like. See, you just said tar, you just said zinc.
Well, you can't live without zinc. And these particular wonderful chemicals, that's chemistry. These things are to temporarily give you a medical effect. That's why you have cosmetic dandruff shampoos and you have medical dandruff shampoos that will be prescribed by dermatologists.
Wow.
Derma means skin. And so when you get to the dermatologist, they have more of a license and a medical degree to give you just a little more of what we call an active. So let's say acetic acid, hydroxy acid. And these things are acids, not in terms of alkaline acid, but those are on your acid side of the pH.
Okay.
They will give you temporary relief.
So there you guys have it. Your dandruff shampoos have a little bit more science in it, and they can offer you some temporary relief. You have medical grade type options for your scalp condition, and then you have OTC, which was the one that we just put up here, selenium sulfide. Now remember, this would be like cosmetics, so this is why we should not try to play doctor over people's heads. Now we do have some good comments in the chat, but before we do that, because people are saying, so what are you going to do about people who ain't washing their hair in about 4 or 5 months? So we're going to get to that, but before we answer that, the question that Cheryl had for Miss Miko Pearson, we asked her, how does she adjust the pH on the scalp? And she said she usually it's apple cider vinegar. That's what she uses. Okay, so what do you say about apple cider vinegar to adjust the pH on the scalp?
Right. It's a good answer. Okay. It's a good answer, but apple cider vinegar is a food. Right.
Oh.
And apple cider vinegar is extremely concentrated, so it will burn the scalp. But it's a good choice if she knows how to cut it. But what is she going to cut it with? So now listen to this. Apple cider vinegar is just as lethal on the skin as any sulfate.
Oh, y'all better hit that thumbs up. Let me
Just
drop this.
lethal.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, I don't think they heard you, though. Can you repeat that one more time? They ain't hear you, though.
Externally, apple cider vinegar is just as lethal as any sulfate.
Hammer time.
Oh, that was Dr. Hammer.
Now, if she knows how to cut it, then fine. But the problem is that it doesn't clean. Now, the issue is that this is the difference between Afro Hair Science Summit and regular cosmetology or any other education. Now, I gave you a trick question. Okay? Because you can, but how did you know that the skin was alkaline?
Okay, Miko. She wants to know, how did you know that the skin was alkaline? And yes, Miss Sharice, you can have them call the hair salon. I will put that information in the chat. So we do offer press and curl services. So there you go. We got you. Because
it has to be extremely alkaline to be able to use apple cider vinegar. And I'm not saying that's not a choice. I'm saying
how does she know if the scalp is alkaline? That's a very good question, because people will ask me, they've been coming in lately asking me, do you know what the pH is on my hair? And I'm like, I have no way of knowing what the pH is on your hair. That not right now.
And to randomly ask that is of no consequence unless itching, odor, discoloration, and some discomfort. Well, then we would go through that.
Yeah. Okay. So now the question is, okay, if we can't detox, we can't clarify, we can't deep cleanse, well, we're not really doing that.
I said you're not doing it.
Right. So you're not detoxing, you're not deep cleansing, you're not clarifying. Then what do you say to the people who have clients, or maybe these are consumers in the chat? Thank you for hitting that thumbs up button. We so appreciate it. Come on, guys, let's get those likes up. Then what are we using on people who haven't, if they're wearing weaves, or maybe they were, in the hospital, they had no access, maybe they went on a camping trip, or they just don't, like, I ain't washed my hair in 4 months because I just didn't feel like washing it. So what would you use for those people?
Like I said, I would use a neutral, not acid, not alkaline, and I would
neutralizing shampoo,
something that is not going to take the hair to scalp to acid and pull it to alkaline. The key here is to understand that you want it slick, so you can barely move it. And you have to let it soak to the point where you're barely lifting it and you're barely moving it. Because let me just say this. If I were to grab a lot of your hair, just a lot, like a big bundle, and squeeze your scalp and hold it there for 2 weeks, right? That's essentially what happens when you get your hair braided. Or get your hair relocked, or you constrict it. I'm pulling it, right? And then I let it go. That's blood flow. This isn't. Okay. So I'm holding it and I'm restricting it. And so at that point, that consistent pull or traction or restriction or attention, what message is that sending? And the message response is an
autoimmune
response. It may send resources like white blood cells, red, down the line, and create a stage of wound healing. And what does not happen during wound healing phases?
Growth. That part.
Or whatever stage most of the majority of the hair follicles are in at that time.
Right? We're getting deep.
So my point is that as a person who's going to relieve the scalp and clean it and cleanse it, I cannot give more of what it has experienced in order to clean it.
Yeah.
I have to go the opposite way. And I have to remove it. And it's not a very quick job because you're lifting something off and you're taking the braids down and you're trying to relieve the lack of circulation. It's recovery.
And we hope that you, as the consumer, because a lot of people like now are coming to the barbershops, the hair salons, the natural hairstylists with heavily soiled hair. And they're not quite understanding, number one, why it's going to cost more. Number two, they can get the time, but they don't understand the high thought. It takes a more educated technician to solve your problem, so that your cost is going to go up for the knowledge to bring about the solution and knowing what to use on it. So if you're one of those people who are watching this and you're like, they tripping, charging extra, they're tripping, putting a timer on, charging me by the minute, they're tripping, charging me for using a different product, because now you can see the answer again is the hair salon and the barber shop. As licensed technicians, we have the closest set of sound scientific principles, which are solutions. So instead of using something called detox, deep cleanse, and clarifying, neutralizing shampoo is your better choice. And Lawana says, so are you telling her that you can use a neutralizing shampoo on natural hair and relaxed hair?
Oh, let me just say this. When I say that Black hair care has a scientific jump on natural hair, about 50-year jump, that means we have a set of sound principles that have been tried and true.
Say it again.
We have it's been applied to techniques, treatments, and it has stood the test of time to where science says it does this. So neutralizing shampoo is a theorem, not a theory. Clarifying is a theory. We don't know where that shit came from. All we know is that it came from marketing rooms and marketing departments.
Use any theorem, but there's just...
My point is, because in neutralizing shampoo is almost like prenatal pills. It has been tested to work because it has to work. Now, the key here is for you to understand, when you create a movement without your intelligence, without cosmetology that's already there, the neutralizing shampoos are already designed to, the chemicals and the ingredients in neutralizing shampoos are already there to deal with high pHs. A clarifying is there is to deal with, to break up fatty lipid, triglyceride, thick, buttery, waxy shit you guys put on there. Neutralizing shampoo is there to deal with high pHs. So to use something that's to break up fats and you're trying to get pH down, those two things don't do the same thing.
Yeah, so if you're buying those products, you need to understand. What's up, Yate? Don't forget, guys, you must go over to Real Roots right here on YouTube and subscribe to the Real Roots YouTube channel. She kicked the ballistics yesterday. It was thebomb.com. That's our homegirl, Miss Yate Keaton. She is one of the finest barbers down in the Carolinas, and I believe that's South Carolina. I hope I'm saying it like you, Yate. South Carolina. Okay, she's got a beautiful country accent. So we hope you guys understand that if you're buying products that says clarifying, deep cleansing, or detoxifying, you're just paying for the word. It's doing nothing magical is happening. Your operative option is neutralizing shampoo. But remember, she says it's an intricate balance between what pH you're going to be using. And this is why you have to come to the hair salon or barbershop, because all neutralizing shampoos are not on the same pH. Why should you guys be doing this and listening to us? Because again, according to the Hair Oracle, barbering and cosmetology, our careers have the closest set of sound scientific principles. So you cannot Google this. You cannot, what they say, don't cook it up, look it up. No, you need to go to a professional who can discern the pH. All manufacturers, some is 4.5, some is 5, some is 5.5. It depends.
And also the many years of how you vet your provider and your stylist in the first place is that when you go to the emergency room or you go to the hospital, you want the attending physician. You want the you don't want a resident, right? You want the physician that has been there and has practiced for over 10 to 15, 20 years. So they have seen a set of happenstances, circumstances, symptoms. They've heard it over and over again. They have a better handle of making heads and tails and doing the process of elimination and putting things together due to their experience. That is why when you go to a professional, they're going to be able to put together itching, tightness, tingling, and then redness. Their brain is going to go to redness, tightness, tension, and they're going to probably say, maybe we need to adjust the pH. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they're going to make a heads or tails decision based on experience of what to use.
Right. And this is why you cannot get this on YouTube. That's why I said don't even use this podcast as as to solve. We just want to, like we said, we want to whet your appetite and encourage you to get the education, because Cheryl teaches me all the time. It's already in you. We just want to bring it out. And you can't do that on these types of platforms, because we see the different types of questions that are coming in, because you have, especially if you're servicing the person, number one, and number two, if you're the customer, you're the consumer, and you've been going to salon after salon and natural stylist after natural stylist and product after product, and you still are not happy with your hair. This is what this podcast is all about. We encourage you. Please, 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 please go to that professional. But you do have to vet that person. Trish has another question. Is that high pH of chemicals like perms, relaxers, and color? I'm not quite sure what that's in reference to, but can you speak to the pH on perms, relaxers, and color? And if you want to, Trish, you can clarify your statement, or was it just a response to something we had said? So right quick, I want to show the next quick.
Right. I think she is, her question is akin to, how does the scalp get a high pH or a low pH, whatever the case may be. No, not just perms, relaxers, and colors. Color would be ammonia or hydrogen peroxide. Relaxers would be hydroxide. Okay. Perms would be thio. Right? Okay. Let's put it this way. You do have those forces. That could be a cause, right? But let me ask you a question. If you guys were tuning into Dr. Joy last Thursday, what is the most acidic pH cause in the human body?
I don't remember that. Somebody else want to take a stab at that one? What is the most? What is the cause for most acid in the body? Okay.
They answer. I'm not, because I'm not looking at it. Okay.
They have an answer.
Anyway, stress.
Okay.
Okay. Thoughts. Foods. Sweat. dehydration. And so when you have, and I'm really referencing this into no chemical treatments, just for us to be able to get a sum zero game in terms of our conversation. So I'm not putting even those in. We can even deal with that, which is to me a whole nother subject. But the way we determine, and that's what we deal with Afro Hair Science Summit. I am not giving you an easy way out and just trying to give you, therefore the pH of relaxer is a 13.5 and therefore your skin is a 13.5. Well, that's a very immature, very
It's very superficial. It's very
it's,
it's on the top, it's on the surface, you know.
Right. It's an intermediate way of looking at it, right?
It's lookership.
Right. But my goal here is for us to take the overall picture. And if people are in their natural state, it's not that you need to take out a strip, right, and measure it. You need to be a person that puts a set of elemental, environmental symptoms and be able to be a professional and make judgments. You can use, because I can tell you right now, one of the things that I don't like about trichologists, they like to use pH meters and pH readers and things of that nature. Real, true, professional, great stylists and beauty professionals. We listen, we look, we feel, we smell. We talk and consult our clients. Thus, we know how to fix things chemically. We fix things with applied science. We don't just use a meteor and you rub some, the pH strip, right, with the litmus paper, and then you put it in the solution. Oh, it's a 7-8, and then you guys go in there and screwing around with apple cider vinegar, and then end up injuring out.
Right. It takes that discernment, right, is what we're saying. So, and this is why we are encouraging you, like Mr. Cafele says, he's wet. We are very intentional. We want you guys to really want to come and meet us in Houston, Texas. Tell your barber, your cosmetologist, make the investment so that we can get this right. Because again, we do have contrary to popular belief, we know there's a lot of shade on cosmetologists and barbers. But again, to Cheryl's point, I can't reiterate it enough. Our industry has the closest set of sound scientific principles to empower you to apply the knowledge in a customized, you can't cookie cut these solutions. So we have another question right here before we get to our next one. You guys are doing a great job. Again, we are 148 episodes in, and tonight we're talking about scalp concerns. So Live, Work, Clean. First of all, to our Canadian family, listen, that fool up in here, he ain't got nothing to do with us. To our Canadian brothers and sisters,
we love you.
We love y'all, and y'all do what y'all got to do.
We're embarrassed that
but he not like us. Okay, anywho, Live, Work, Clean. Thank you for still seeing us as your brothers and sisters in spite of. But the question is, she says, I deal with seborrheic dermatitis. Why is it worse with virgin hair and not so with relaxed hair? Good question.
Now,
and I got you next, Luana, before we go to our next clip.
Okay. So, dermatitis obviously is an inflammation, right? Okay. But it is the immune system is involved. The immune system is involved, and the immune system is responding, right? And so you're getting this plaque, right? The key here is to deal with the cause. And if we were to go through our consultation, we have to talk about when it began and when does it get really inflamed and then it flares, right? But it flares probably more without the use of the sodium, not the hydroxide, the sodium. The sodium is bringing the pH up. It is doing the same thing as the medical grade dandruff shampoo is doing.
That girl good. Come on now, y'all. Y'all better, if y'all ain't hitting that thumbs up button, get your ass off the podcast now. Come on now. That was dope, man. Trish over here. We like, that was good.
And you also have to remember the high pH of relaxer is kind of giving you, let me choose the word right, like a chemical peel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it is removing all of that infected area.
Yeah. With
the salt and the guanidine. See, and the calcium and all of the other sodium. So when my dad would make his California green, I would bathe their scalp that had fungus in every or plaque or eczema or any type of itis. And I would heat it, sit them under the dryer, and let the high pH melt all of that plaque and stuff, and then rinse it. And and most of my clients who suffered from it never got it back.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like taking a fingernail or a toenail fungus, right? That you can never get rid of. You have to shave it off. You can't just and then once you shave it off, the infected, the virus or the fungus or the plaque or whatever that matter, cell proliferation, once you get it away from the body, then you would put on an oil so it won't grow back, because the fungus wants to grow with water.
Mm-hmm.
So when you kill it with oil, because it's of oxygen. But because you keep putting oil
and water,
air and water, you're keeping it, you're circulating it,
and you put that bonnet on there. You know, y'all. That's why we keep telling y'all, take them dang on bonnets off. I'm about to do a video on that one, please, you guys. Because like Cheryl said, the scalp is and I learned this in the Afro Hair Science Summit. The scalp is the human body in general, it's very sophisticated. It don't need us like we think it do. It's like Kendrick Lamar. We gonna be all right, okay? So the scalp knows what it needs to do, and it knows how to respond. So this is why we keep saying relaxers, they're getting a bad rap. We see what relaxers can do for certain people. You will hear a person say,
they need to be safer. We know that. We got that. And see, once again, Black folks have improved it.
Mm-hmm.
But like Kilolo says, water spreads, oil harbors. Water spreads and oil harbors. So whatever is going on in that's on the surface of your scalp, live, work, clean. We have to remove it without water and without oil to get it and to remove it and to, adjust on the pH. And unfortunate part, the packing and the styling techniques and the product technique, and when you guys apply it and how you guys apply it, and you guys 9 times out of 10 you're leaving it wet, and then you don't have time to do it completely before you got to go to work, and I completely understand. But That
Yeah.
is why relaxed
Yes.
versus the natural harbors certain or breeds certain conditions and disorders that chemically treated hair and scalp do not suffer from.
Wow, that was very powerful. Again, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are 148 episodes in. We have another question, and let me find you. Ooh, these questions are coming through so much. I hope I can find it again. I'm sorry, Lawana, but it's coming. Okay, so here we go. Lawana, our birthday girl, she says, I don't want to name drop. It's okay, guys. This is what we're here for. But Deca is somewhat of a clarifying shampoo. Are you saying it's not helping me when I use it? No, what we're saying is it is not clarifying.
Well, why are you clarifying, or why are you using the concept of a clarifying shampoo? Who told you you needed to clarify?
Well, yeah, the companies do that. Now, again, this is our job as cosmetologists. It's like your mama would say, come on, Miko. Miko, I know you still rocking with me over here. Oh, yes, bonnets are horrible. You don't want to sleep in no bonnet. Miko, like, you better teach us, Cheryl. So Miko will tell the truth. All Kafele, all of y'all tell the truth. Just because a company says something, it's kind of like your mom would say, if they tell you to jump off the roof, the bridge, are you going with them? So it is our job to take the information that they give us and we can discern. We don't have to take everything that they say verbatim. So is Deca a nice cleanser? Yes, it is. But is it clarifying? No, it is not. So these are terms that we have removed from our language as cosmetologists and natural hairstylists inside the Reverence Design Team Hair Salon. And we're very tactful and tasteful. We use team meetings and text messages and little posters in the back of the salon, in the back where our break room is, and in our what you call that room, Cheryl? Where we do our chemicals at. Okay, so we have signs in there to remind us to not use those terms anymore. So we have,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but clarifying is a way for you to buy 2 shampoos when you only need to buy 1.
Okay, it's a money grab.
This
is what we tell people all the time. These are money grabs. So bonnets are not good to sleep in for dispensary. Thank you, Kenya. I was a little excited. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we put our notes up in the dispensary. We text each other. We do team meetings. We go to classes like the Afro Hair Science Summit. We even go to DECA classes. DECA offers a wonderful course in understanding the scalp according to DECA. But we don't believe everything DECA tells us. But we do need to understand the company's mission, why they make their product, how they want it to be used. That is what their job is to do. But it is up to us, like Cheryl said, to use our education from cosmetology and school and all of our continuing education classes to do what? Discern. And so, yeah, bonnets are not good to sleep in for all of the reasons that Cheryl just gave. Now, if you're trying to hold your braids out of your face and your locks and they're so long, okay, we get it. But you got to be careful with those bonnets due to friction. And, oh, Lord, I just can go on for days about bonnets, but that's a whole nother subject, all right? So let's show our next video. Thank you, guys. Keep those questions coming. So we have about 2 more videos. So this one here is about them edges because that's part of the scalp too. Now, sure, I'm going to show this video and then I'll use your drawing, your rendering about the scalp. So maybe that can help with this too. But the edges are a part of the scalp. And so that kind of gets looped in with concerns about scalp care. So here we go. It's about them edges. Cheryl, here we go.
You ain't got no edges and you having issues with your hair growth, let me help you out right now. Baby girl, this is hair crack. I kid you not. The moment you apply this to your scalp, you're going to feel a little tingle. It's like you feel your hair's already growing.
All right. So what is it about the edges that's different from the scalp or the hairline? I'm sorry. The hairline that's different from the scalp when it comes, is there a care for hairline that's different from the scalp is where I'm going with that. And if you have hairline questions, drop them right now. We have 2 more videos. I'm sorry, 3. We're not going to keep you guys too much longer, but go ahead, Cheryl. Is there a difference between scalp care and edges or hairline? Let me switch my cap. Okay.
Because of the skin here, okay, here, this hair here is not meant to go back here. Okay, I know it's long, but you know, your scalp muscles are made to go this way, that way, this way, forward. But the moment they keep shouldering, you're going to get what we call muscle memory. And then you have a pili muscle. And once that muscle becomes weak, its job is to hold the follicle in the joint.
Can I use this one? Is this one fine?
This, yeah.
That's the erector pili muscle as you're talking. Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
Once this muscle detaches, this muscle here detaches or becomes extremely weak. You hear of some of the collagen in this particular layer here, and this is a diagram for a follicle, not the scalp per se. But the point here is that you have elastin, you have collagen, and you have your skin, and we'll talk about, hopefully, we'll get a scalp a diagram, because we have these diagrams available for you guys. But
what's that one? Is that one better?
It's much better.
Okay, here we go. Scalp diet. I was just showing the erector pili muscle. That's why I used that one, but go ahead.
Right. And because you have this poster explains, and that you guys can have in your homes and your salons, but this is explains what each brick layer, why it's, some are vertical, okay, which is your luciderm stratum. Some of it's this way, some of it's, zigzag. But this is to keep the muscles and the pores, your follicles. It's to keep everything stationary. Once you pull the genetic material out, let's just say that your inner sheath in the follicle is injured.
We see a lot of that.
All of this is an injury. Pulling traction alopecia is an injury. It's not a condition.
And I hope you guys can see why we say the hair more than likely won't be damaged. It's going to be the scalp.
Right. It's not. So
if the hair is on your hair, you're pretty much good to go. But like Cheryl said, once you start tugging and pulling and burning,
that scalp, as it comes forward to your forehead skin, your facial skin, it's no longer the epidermis. You don't, it's not juxtaposed like your face.
So the skin around your hairline is different from the skin on your skull / scalp.
It's even the difference in thickness. Okay. It's a difference in color.
Okay.
It's darker once it comes towards your face, right? And it doesn't have as much fat tissue. The fattiest tissue, which means it has a very thick connective tissue. Scalp is an acronym. It's not a word.
Did you guys hear that? And this is why, again, this anatomy of curly hair, this poster Cheryl said this is for sale, but to understand it more, you need to get ready to gear up for the Beauty Under One Roof educational conference. It's a boutique style type of setting, and Cheryl is going to be there. I'm not teaching. Please don't quit inboxing me. I don't do what Cheryl do. When I was Cheryl, I turn into a student. I would get up there and introduce her, then I go sit my little happy ass down and I take notes with the rest of y'all. So we don't have, this is not available in the Milady's Book of Cosmetology. This is not available in the Milady's Barbering Book of Cosmetology, nor is it available in some of your natural, they also have one for natural hair. And this is why last year we did what?
Yes.
We introduced House Bill 414. And now we hope you guys are understanding why Afro hair science. Remember, this is the nation's first texture hair science bill. We hope by this point, if you guys have been rocking it out with us for this long, you can hit that thumbs up button and begin to understand why Afro hair science is so important. So now you know that the scalp is totally different from your scalp on your skull, and the fat content plays a very important role. Now we have to go to them babies, Cheryl. We have to go to them babies because there's a big push for the babies with their bald spots and stuff. So here we go. Drop your questions in the chat. So here we go. Let me just show you this one here. Oh, you're gonna love this one.
Infant and toddler mamas, check in because I've been trying to tell you all that Baskin Lathers products are not to be played with. This scalp simulator has been carrying us in the last 3 months. As you can see, we have been using these bottles down to the bone. I started using this product in my 16-month-old baby girl's hair in December, and just look at what this product has done in 3 months, how much growth she's experienced. I know a lot of mamas can relate, seeing our babies go through the transformations in their hair where they might have some balding spots and some spots that take a little bit longer to grow in than others. And this has really helped. When I was still breastfeeding, I would make a shea butter with my breast milk for her that would help. But because I'm not anymore, this product really has come through for us. I've also used it on my edges. Postpartum, I've seen a lot of growth. My husband also uses it for his beard. So I highly recommend, massaging it in to her scalp for at least a few minutes a day. It's just been phenomenal.
This is... Now, I'm just going to say 3 things that concern me. Number 1, scalp stimulator for a baby. Number 2, she's taking her breast milk and she's mixing it with shea butter. I mean, some of this stuff, guys, I'm not even trying to be funny, but it just makes me want to really cry. Not even joking. Somehow they have convinced this woman that she could take her breast milk and mix it with shea butter and put it on her baby's head. This is not good. She's not going to die, but this is really sad. Seriously. And then last but not least, massaging the baby's head with an effort to, make the baby's hair grow. I have a granddaughter. I can't imagine, and I have 2 sons. I can't even imagine putting a child through something like that over something called hair that it grows naturally, guys. Sad. Really sad. Sorry, guys, but I just take it a little bit personal because you guys know my career started off in mental health. This stuff is not a joke. And she really, her heart is in the right place. But that poor baby.
And let me just say this.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
And then let's just continue with with that spirit. The mother sounds traumatized. The mother is traumatized. And I don't know if any hair coaches are in the chat, but the fastest growing skill set in cosmetology are hair coaches. That mother is traumatized. There is no evidence that she needs to do anything to the baby's hair, but she is over fixated on it. And the husband does not recognize that. But to a trained eye, I am quite sure that the mother is suffering from some type of Afro dysmorphia. She is hyper fixated and she doesn't understand that babies' hair follicles do not generate all at the same time because the scalp is maturing at different rates. There is nothing wrong with that baby's hair, but she is convinced that it is. And so I would hair coach the mother because she is going to continue to do that to her child until she learns that she's got to stop herself.
And I think, thank you so much, Kay. Kay said she said she was breastfeeding and used shea on the head without the milk, but that's even worse, you know. With the intent, like I said, it's not, she's not gonna go bald, but it's the intention.
The baby, but because we don't understand, and a hairstylist has not stopped her and said the baby's scalp don't all produce hair follicles, active hair follicles, at the same time. Baby's teeth will fall out. Baby's scalp will mature. But she's traumatized by some event. I don't know if she can remember when she was a child that somebody did that to her, but it's in her memory somewhere. And the mother is traumatized by it, and she's overly fixated on it. That could be one reason. Or two, she is also using and exploiting her baby to sell you something for your hair, and it's something more sinister.
And I think that's what's making me cry, Kay. Because we know it is not about any of that. The attention-seeking behaviors that social media just, some of this stuff is just in people for whatever, that's none of our business, but these are not good things.
And she's styling baby's hair like she's an adult. She's she's paying too much attention to it, to the point where the baby's already in consumerism. The baby's already has hair appointments. The baby's scalp is already being over exercised and scalp is being over brushed. And it's the mother. She's terrorized about something. And that's hopefully she can talk to someone that believe her.
And I think Kay's point is we aren't comfortable with showing our nappy hair, you know. Some people just kind of struggle with that. It is what it is. My son, when he was little, his hair would get that little lion's mane that would just kind of come up, and people are like, you need to put some gel on that. No, that's just what it does. I mean, it's his hair. Remember they would get on Beyonce about little Blue Ivy, like she needs to do something with that baby's hair. That's what the baby's hair. I mean, like
it's a combination of Afrophobia. We were born here. We're westernized. We're just as psycho and neurotic. We're just black. We just know that it's been done to us. We don't know how to do anything about it. We may talk to each other about it, but we are responding in a very external way, knowing that maybe something could be off. And she knows that she's got, that baby is not even 2. And she's got her she's fixated, guys. And so she is, I've never seen, and I'll be honest with you, I've never seen a mother brushing it. And let me just say this.
And she had a nylon brush on that baby's scalp.
And of course, the baby has what we call inactive belt. That's an inactive strip right here in the back, right? And when she becomes 7, she's probably going to have a head freaking full of hair, and that's going to be the thickest portion. But if we understood the scalp does not have all active, the baby does not come out with all follicles active because the scalp is not mature in those areas. right?
Can I show, I'm going to get to your question right quick, Kai, but can you repeat that? I'm just going to show an image. I'll try to get it before you got finished of what you were talking about. Can you repeat the term for the strip on the back of the babies? There we go. Can you go over that one more again? I'm sorry.
That is what we call, it's an inactive follicular belt, and it's right where the baby lays its head all the time.
And y'all saying stuff like the baby rubbing its hair out. Stop it! I'm sorry, y'all. Trish Ladosha. I'm sorry, Trish, forgive me, Trish. Trish Ladosha, you so ghetto. I'm sorry, but the key Lolo, I try to get her to shut up, but she won't. But she said, stop that shit. Stop saying the baby rubbing his hair out.
Stop.
I'm better, Trish.
Because you know the baby's gonna lose all the hair that's on its head. All of that hair is coming out. Just like their teeth. They're not keeping their baby hair. No. There is no such thing as baby hair. There is no such thing as none of that craziness.
Yeah.
The scalp.
What was that word? The placenta hair. Remember we talked about that before. The placenta hair.
Right.
This is to help the baby get through the canal, guys. That's not, that hair won't be there. You know, the baby, Cheryl said, what was the metamorphosis? I forgot. We'll talk about this more when you guys join us in Houston. Hopefully, again, we're whetting your appetite.
Yeah, Afro, you mean the Afro metamorphosis?
Yes, that's it.
Is that Black children, Black babies, or curly hair, Afro curly hair babies, their scalps have so many stages before it gets to its dominant adult hair, because it takes a long time for the scalp to produce that kind of coil. So you gotta give it time.
Stop saying like when I was Indian. No, it's not when you were Indian.
I can't.
Okay. We hope you guys got that. Thank you. Can you repeat that one more again? What's that called again? The belt? What's it called?
It is an inactive follicular belt. It goes.
There you go.
Goes from the baby lays its head.
All right. So put that in your pocket and don't let nobody hock it, as my mama would say. Y'all like that one? All right. You like that, Cheryl? She said, put that in your pocket and don't let nobody hock it. All right. Cheryl loves my mama saying. She feels like she knows my mom. Her birthday is coming up. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let me go back to you, Miss Kai. She had a nice question, and we have 2 more videos. So she says, I got here late, but based on what you said, what do you think about leave-ins? And since oils, etc., is formulated into it, would it be an alternative in terms of keeping the bacteria at bay? Leave-in versus oils, what's your take? And can either keep the bacteria at bay? Thank you, Kai. Drop your questions in the chat. You guys are doing a wonderful job.
I want you,
sorry, Miko. Yes, Scalp is a acronym. Yes, it is. We just gotta get ready for that beauty under one roof.
What is it? Skin for the S.
Oh, let me write it out for them.
Connected.
I'll write that out for you, Miss Miko. I'm ready, Cheryl.
Okay. What is S? Skin. C. Connective tissue. A. Aponeurosis, which is a thin layer.
You said aponeurosis?
APONE.
I got that. ROIS. Okay.
Okay. L, loose tissue. And P, periosteum. I'm almost sure.
I got you. All right. So I'm going to type that. And for you, Miss Miko,
Word.
I'm going to type that up for you, and now you can answer her questions about leave-in versus oil and which one is best in terms of keeping bacteria at bay. Well, that's a good one. You guys are just deep.
Oh boy. By the time you have bacteria, you need to not focus on what you need to put on it at home. Bacteria is not like virus. Okay? Bacteria and fungus can live on their own. Okay? They don't need a host. Okay? I think they're called your eukaryotes. That's the genus, the taxonomy. Anyway, don't think about any cosmetic uses of anything if you have a bacteria. And if you can't now, but what did your ancestors do? See, we don't have to guess this. And I tell Ladosha all the time, we are all heirs. We need to stop acting like we white folks. We are not vagabonds. Our people left us the intelligence. What did your people do for bacteria? You said it, but you didn't say it right. You said it. And see, that just goes to mean, Kai, you had it. But see, this is when you don't study your ancestors well enough to where it sticks. What did they put on your skin to keep you from scarring? What did they put on your body to keep the fungus and the bacteria down? What did they do?
All right.
Okay,
Kai, you're in there. It's somewhere in there. You're in the ballpark. This is education. Remember, edu is to bring what's in to bring it out.
What's in it? You said it, but you didn't say it right.
So she wants to know, in case you guys want to take a stab at it, she's asking the question, when it comes to bacteria on the scalp, what is best to keep it at bay? Would it be a leave-in conditioner? Okay. Or would it be oil? So she says, what do you think about leave-ins, etc.? Since it has oil, etc., is formulated into it, would it be an alternative in terms of keeping the bacteria at bay? And Cheryl is asking her. She has the answer. It's somewhere in what she said. And Kai, let's see if we can get it out. Okay.
Anyway, let me just tell you, your people understood. I just said, to keep something from growing, what can it not have in it? Water. It cannot have any water. So leave-in would have some water in it, just like you alluded to. Doesn't have enough oil. It will have some fake oil, like some polymers. You want to use straight oil.
She said, "Oh Lord, you can't have water, Cheryl. What you doing?"
Okay, so, but you don't want to play with bacteria, Kai. Bacteria is a ringworm. You don't want to mess with that. Okay, you don't want to mess with no bacteria. Bacteria is the oldest life. Well, it beats fungus maybe about a couple thousand years, but bacteria is millions of years old. You are a bacteria. You're a bacteria. That's why you have wax as sebaceous glands to keep the water 75% your water. You're a freaking bacteria. Okay? So you have this balance. And God said to you, honor thy mother and thy father, which means acid and alkaline. We said mother and father, but that's to get you off your African shit. But the science is balance. My point is that if you have a bacteria behind your nose, in your fungus or whatever,
she said she meant dandruff.
Oh, dandruff. Dandruff could be some form of bacteria. Okay. But my point is that water is only water spreads, oil harbors, and oil will suffocate a pathogen because it doesn't have any water in it, and it doesn't let oxygen in, doesn't let oxygen out.
All right.
Some of the people let's say they've gone on hikings and they got a parasite, or they got a worm, or they got an insect under their skin. What do they put on it? Crude oil. And then the worm, the maggot will come out because it doesn't have any oxygen. And then that's when they get the maggot out.
So there you go, Live, Work, Clean. All right. That's Canada for y'all. Y'all give it up for our Canadian sister, dropping the knowledge in the chat. You guys are doing good. All right, Cheryl, we got another good one. Now, this one here, I put this in here on purpose before I hit our last one because we got to go here about critiquing this misinformation. So this video here, I created, this one is coming from Dr. Amos Wilson. He's no longer with us, but you can go check his videos out. They are right here on YouTube. And I believe we do have a recommendation for the YouTube channel. If you want to hear him in detail, check out the Transatlantic Productions at Tap Video. So this is a snippet of Dr. Amos Wilson. And we're talking about excuse me, what's the purpose of critiquing us, each other, and culture? Kafele, I did this one for you. Okay, here we go. Should African Americans be critical of each other?
What were the problems represented by African cultures such that we permitted ourselves to be overrun by Europeans, and we find ourselves in the situation that we find ourselves tonight? Understand? It's no insult for us to ask that question of ourselves. And it's no insult for us to look critically at African history and culture and to be critical of it. It is only through our being critical of our history and our culture that we can advance our interests as a people and survive as a people.
Why hasn't the culture of the natural hair community solved the problems with natural hair?
This is the thing we have to keep in mind. You don't have a culture just to have a culture. And you don't claim a culture just because it's a culture or just because it's African. The ultimate thing that culture must do is solve problems.
How you guys like it? You did it! And this is why we say that whole culture is king. No. And I think this is why the natural hair movement has not been able, because they're not in that within their culture. They're not solving the problems. We just told you that cosmetology, the culture of cosmetology, has what? The closest set of sound scientific principles. You also have a person like Yate Keaton out of South Carolina who shared last night that she is also a life coach. Again, that's a sound set of principles to help people navigate their lives. When we talk about that mother who was struggling, with her baby's, hair. So this is what we have to offer you in our industry. So keeping that in mind, here is our last video. It's a little bit over a minute, but Cheryl, I need you to hear this. And don't forget, drop your questions as we wrap this up. You've heard from Dr. Amos Wilson. And so here we go.
Understanding how to boost the production of this one molecule is the key to faster, thicker hair growth. This is going to override genetics and any preconceived notion about genetics. And before you comment, it's just genetics, I want you to explain to me how deoxyribonucleic acid becomes ribonucleic acid and the difference between messenger RNA and transcriptional RNA. And then I want you to tell me about gene transcription. So this is untapped biology, meaning the science research hasn't done this yet, but I have untapped something about ATP. Now, what is ATP and why should you care? This is your energy currency molecule. In very simple terms, I'm going to tell you why. ATP is energy. Scalp massaging is the key to boosting energy. This is something that a single product, no matter how effective, cannot do. So, let me say it simply. The more stimulation you have via scalp massaging, which is 2 hours, the more stimulation, the more energy. The more energy you have, because it takes energy to divide the cells, your hair cells, the more energy you have, the more hair will grow. Research has only supported 4 minutes, but that is not fully tapping into the anagen or growth phase. I have hypothesized 2 hours because that seems like enough time to really boost ATP production without fatiguing your scalp.
So can scalp massaging increase molecular movement for the ATP that makes the hair grow? And science hasn't done it yet. She has. And research says only 4 minutes will help the scalp, but she says that's not enough. She did her own research. And so she said 2 hours is the magic number to move those molecules within your ATP to make the hair grow. So, and this is a segue into our next week's topic. But again, it's something about scalp care that's synonymous with hair growth. So you can dissect that video, and can you help people understand, does scalp care make hair or help hair grow?
Do you remember when we were in the theater, let's say at the Cleveland Clinic, and I put on the screen and I said that hair or cell division is electrical? You remember that? Okay. And then the young lady talks about energy, right? And we know that cells divide in phases: rest, evacuation, and anagenic growth, right? Catagenic to, okay. I think Black people still believe that blood is the source of growth. Blood is for tissue support, not follicular triggering of cell phases. And I think that is where she is getting off, because of course, what she really doesn't deal with is the fact that there has to be an ATP receptor in the scalp. And we get excited about these things, but because we were mistaught from the very beginning, which is why the best set of sound scientific principles in cosmetology is the best foundation to be able to branch out into other thoughts, innovation and thought leadership. You have to have the foundations sound enough. And let me just say this. Once we get into the level of Dr. Amos Wilson, and we are willing to be critiqued and to create and be courageous enough to create think tanks so we can communicate with each other, so we can solve problems, right? We have to be able to understand that facts ends argument. More dependable than opinion. More profound than reason. Silence dispute. Facts will always end the argument.
Trish, I'm loving that. How many of y'all like that? I love it, love it, love it. Facts will end the argument. And again, opinions when it comes to scalp and hair are like cell phones. Everybody has one. But that just won't get it. She was really foxy with her, her extended vocabulary.
And
But
again, it still belongs because it's a great concept, right? Because ADP is not just energy, it is the bliss molecule. That's what she forgot. Okay. And when you talk to geneticists, we have more bliss capability in our cell chromosome. I don't like saying DNA because white folks cut off chromosomes. They don't like to say that because chroma means color, which is a whole nother story. But, this is why even Afro science is different, because we require that these legislative bills create Afrocentric education, not education of a Afrocentric topic.
Right.
Philosophy and ideology about an Afrocentric thing, not just any accredited information and put in a syllabus about Afrocentric culture. We want actual culture could mean roles and genders, just like he has laid out the rituals and information. It could just mean very superfluous things that, without getting into the depth of what the actual subject matter and the objective is. That's not that is what politics and what these legislative things want to do. They just want to include going through the motions and
right. And this is our concern with bills around textured hair and education around textured or natural or Afro hair that's primarily into the manipulation of the fiber. You are limiting yourself so much when you focus on styling the hair and the hair care products. The principles of hair care are the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques. You need science to really give some meat, some girth to that situation. And those techniques and cultural, looks, that is nothing to be poo-pooed on. Don't get it twisted. But you need the science to do what make sense. If we ask the average cosmetology instructor or school owner, explain to us why Afro hair tangles. Explain to us what makes it come up. How come? Explain to us. I guarantee you they don't have the answer.
No.
If you ask the natural hairstylist any of these types of scientific questions that we just went over, ask them, is scalp a term or is it an acronym? Now, if they've watched this YouTube, they're going to say it's an acronym. But before this, because I thought scalp was the skin that covered your skull, I didn't know it was an acronym. You see what I'm saying? And if I did know it, I didn't know how to apply it. And I didn't know that these different layers of skin went in different angles and directions. That's not covered in detail in cosmetology school. And this is why we are encouraging you to join us in Houston at the Beauty Under One Roof, educational summit, a boutique show. And then Cheryl's going to be there teaching what? Afro hair science. Okay. And this poster is not in a book. It is available. You have to email us at afrohairscience@gmail.com and you can get you a copy for your business, or yourself, but it may not make much sense if you don't get the education to go along with it. But if you just got to have it, it's for sale. Correct, Cheryl?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And because of course, and it also says to customers, and it also is there to allow you to create order and organized thoughts, so you can have dialogue that is producing the results and the behavior modification, so you can get the results that you want. It's a constant reminder to have it, so you can make sure that you are. And let me just say this, even though I finished it, this is from the pen and from whom we have any knowledge, a production, and this is from Mr. Morrow's pen. This is not just me. This is about 67 years old. This is what he taught all over the world.
All right. And this and this is why she talked about, again, you got to remember from when she came. All right. So again, this, I got to keep just showing this picture because it's the power of us coming together to learn. And I love social media. I do love this platform. I appreciate you guys so much, but we're using this to like as an olive branch. We need to be in numbers like this. Learning not only Afro hair science, but so much more. There's so many people offering wonderful, wonderful, wonderful education. But now the hair bonnet, that's a whole nother podcast. But quickly, we just want to talk about why those sleeping in those bonnets, the top 3 things why you just want to, as a habit. Now, again, if you have those long braids, you can't sleep in the bed because it's going to tangle you up. But let's just say you have an afro, you have some 2-strand twist, maybe your hair is like mine, and you want to kind of tuck it under this thing called a bonnet. Let me just get all my hair, underneath here. All right. And you want to go to sleep. So the first problem that you're going to have with the bonnet is going to be that whole bacteria thing. You don't want that to be, especially if you got a scalp condition, because Cheryl just told you what that moisture is going to do to that bacteria. Not just going to make your hair stinky, but some other stuff. So not only would you get your odor producing bacteria, because you're going to stink. Ain't no other way. He may or she may not say nothing.
Bacteria stinks. Yeah.
It stinks. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, friction. You're sleeping, you got this afro hair, you've got them locks, you got that spot up there, that afro is just rubbing, you keep covering up, taking it on, taking it off. I don't care if it's made out of satin or silk, the friction is going to have a problem. And then number 3, that hairline. Remember Cheryl talked about the hairline? She told you that the hairline does not have as much fat content as this up here. So you've got this bonnet with that little band or whatever, that little bow, and it's just rubbing. And when you go to do something with your hair, guess what? Your locks are now thinner. And your loctician is wondering, what the hell are you doing to your hair? You go to comb your hair, right? And now you're starting to see what? Oh, I can see my scalp. All right. Bacteria, friction, and hairline. Keep them damn bonnets off your head. All right, stop it. That is not an African American. That's not our scarves. Yes, we do tie it down, right, Cheryl?
We do.
You tie it because it's going to reduce the friction. You don't get the band on it. You still will get the bacteria, though.
You may.
You may. But the scalp the hair is constricted. And so your locks will stay in place. Your braids will stay in place. The afro, it won't swell. Because if you're in that bonnet, right? That afro is responding to that moisture and it's getting bigger. Heaven forbid you have gel and whatever on it. You're going to reactivate that. And it's going to go wet, dry, moist, dry. Then your hair is all crunchy and gritty. And now you want to do what? Detox. Clarify, deep cleanse. Freaking money trap. It's a money grab. The bonnets is a money grab. You will spend more money on your hair if you sleep in a bonnet than the person who wraps it or just take their monkey butt to bed and go to sleep.
Why can't you guys plait it? Why can't you guys take your time and just plait it? Why are you guys being like you sitting up there watching TV, playing them damn video games, whatever that shit y'all doing?
Just plait it down.
Two plaits.
Don't go to sleep on an afro hair. Just don't do it. If you those locks, you better let Kafele in them. But okay, now Kafele, where you at? Yate, tell them. If you don't plait that hair, it's just a matter of, it's just going to rub out. All right. Ain't no fancy. We ain't got to sell you nothing. If you go, our parents, sure, did your mama let you go to bed with your afro sticking up on your head?
Hell no.
Now, you know,
come on,
nobody's mama. No. Now, I don't know what y'all doing today, but when we were growing up, your hair was always, even if you wore your little Mickey Mouse Afro puffs or whatever you want to call them, oh, them joints got braided down. Because no. So I hope that got your goat about the bonnets. So we're going to be back here. Ooh, we got 2 hours in. Good Lord, they wasn't 2.5 almost. Can you wear a headscarf? Yes, you can. You can tie it down. The scarf will be more secured. But if you got the Afro hair, those 2-strand twists, that's why we call it the 24-hour hairstyle. You might can sleep on it for a day, but if you're going into 2-3 days, baby, that hair gonna be it's just gonna rub out. Eventually, you're going to have it. So take those
y'all want to see me like really angry. And I see them in the grocery store, and I sometimes they appreciate me because I stop, and I will say, ma'am, what I want you to do, because look, I'm a hairstylist. When you get home, you need to either do one or two things. You need to take her hair down. Because at the end of the day, your job as a mother is to make sure that she has as much hair as she can when she gets 21. Because the way she's going now, that shit's ridiculous.
Right. Can you
and take her and they look at me strange, but they know damn well that I'm right. And they say thank you, ma'am, because at the end of the day, you ain't asked that girl, is she comfortable? She can't move her head this way. She feels tension here and she feels tension here. I mean, but I know.
And you when you put the braids in there, right? Or the lock, right? As soon as it's twisted neat. But tonight, because the hair grows all day, every day, right? That tightness is now lifted up.
I said if I grab your hair like this and I keep it like this for 2 weeks, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get agitated, it's gonna be sore. I'm gonna create some pus, I'm gonna create all these things. And
that tender-headedness that y'all keep crying about. And then once you just use my hair. So say this is your lock or your twist or your braids or your silk press, and it's in raised up, and you put that bonnet, right? Where that natural hair, right, Cheryl? And that demarcation line, that bonnet gonna saw that.
And not only that,
faster than the electric.
And let me just say this. God gave you a measuring stick. Okay? Now, barbers, I want y'all to listen. You guys are not making no lines. What you're doing is that you're following God's whole print. You think that that's by accident? That's not by accident. Okay? Those curves and lines is as a guide. Okay? These two areas here, when your scalp goes in like that, these two are called tension points. They're called, that curve is a tension point.
Look, Yate like.
Okay. That means that any hairs from this point all the way until this gets straight, that shit better be able to move. She better not feel no pain. Okay? No pain. Now, maybe this where it evens out. Okay? You can apply a little pressure because it has no curves. But I am trying to for us to understand these things exist for a reason.
A reason. And bonnets don't help the situation. So I'm sorry, I know you over here on Instagram. No. So we got to stop selling the bonnets. I mean, bonnets were originally about holding the hair out of the face for like makeup, and it's an aid to slip your clothes on,
Absolutely.
So if you put a bonnet on your head, you have a dress or it'll help slide it. It's an aid. It was never really meant to do.
And then let me get into the millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers. What did people who have convertibles, what is the glove box for? What is it called glove compartment for? Gloves and a Scarf. You're supposed to tie the head down while you driving. Then you take it off, fold it back up, take the gloves off, and put it in the glove
compartment. Are you guys following us?
Right.
I know y'all like, don't y'all love this channel?
But here we go again. We act like vagabonds. We act like our people ain't taught us nothing. We act like the information ain't there. Yeah. They left it all for you to understand, put two and two together. Come on.
Yeah, it's the glove compartment is not just where you put your your manual for the car, okay, guys? It was
all your napkins from the fast food.
Yes,
just pens. And
go watch some James Bond. Come on, you guys will see it. I know you guys might find. I know y'all like, yeah. This is why we are here, to help make it make sense. You don't fall for the money grab. I know the bonnet.
Why did they put a mirror on the sun?
Sunroof.
No, on the lapel of the sun blocker. Why did they put a mirror? Because they expected you to what? Put your makeup on, put your hair, get your hair spoofed up, take that scarf off, put it back in it. That's what it was for.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think those luxury cars, if you've ever driven like in an Aston Martin, I'm telling y'all, baby, it's levels to this. Y'all, come on, y'all better get these people, baby. Y'all better y'all ain't got to buy it. Go on in there and sit, and it's gonna make sense. It's not like what y'all think it is. So do not fall for the money trap. Okay, don't do it. The bonnets, I get it. There is no such thing as carefree hair. You cannot put your hair under a bonnet and pack it and then think you're going to come to the hair salon or the barbershop. Yate is going to have to charge you a little bit more to use the discernment of the knowledge that she gathered from the Afro Hair Science Summit and all the other educational classes that she's attended to make a choice of what to do to your hair when it is in that state. And then she's going to teach you what you need to do so that you're not doing it again. You have to braid that hair down. Now, you don't have to, but eventually it's going to come off. But if you're having this natural hair.
Right. Even the babies know, take the bonnet off, put it in the glove compartment, or put it in the back of the seat where the pocket is on the back of the seat in the car.
Yeah.
They already know.
Yeah. So and so we can do that for you. You're saying things like your hair is too thick to braid. You need to go to a licensed professional. If you don't have, because parents would do this for you. But if you didn't have a parent to teach you, or maybe your parent didn't know, remember I told you guys, Yate is a barber, but she just shared last night. She is also a life coach. You're going to need help to manage this, especially if you're not used to it. If you're used to just going to bed, put some on your head and getting up in the morning and just go, this is going to be a hard pill to swallow.
That's right.
But you can't do it, guys, especially over an extended period of time, all right? And Real Root says she can help, and this is what we're here for, okay? So last one, you guys are keeping us. So I'm going to have to put up with my man fussing when I try to get my hair ready for bed. Yeah.
Okay,
just go on and braid it down.
Well, excuse me. Ladies, I used to have a hair coaching practice in my apartment in Harlem. What we're going to have to do, okay? And I really want you to listen to this, Miss K, okay? Your hair is not an alter ego. It ain't my hair. It's you. It ain't you. And one of the things that I did have a client, actually, and he was a man. He was saying, I don't know what to do. Me and my girl arguing. We can't ever go nowhere on time, yada, 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 yada. And so he came in and he was saying, I'm just so frustrated. We can't go. Sometimes I just leave. I want to go places with her. She got to get ready and then her hair got to get ready. I just get ready. But see what he said. You got to bring that hair. The hair is an embodiment. You got to bring that hair. That's one person. And at the end of the day, once Black women start understanding that no, it's not that my hair has to get ready. It's not an alter ego. It's not another entity. It's not another person. You have to say, I have to allot some time for me to complete my beauty process, which encompasses my hair, my eyes, my lips, my ears, my necklaces, my jewelry, my fragrance, my dress, my shoes.
They know what it is. They saw you. They can tell when they see me. When they see Shrimp, they already know. Oh,
especially fabulous ladies. I know who you are. Yeah, you got a ritual, but you better tell them you're gonna embrace your Africanness. Let me tell you something right now. Do you guys know what sundial time is? Black folks call it CP time. You know where that came from? It's African. As long as the sun is up, we got time. Don't be rushing me. I'm not on. A Senegalese woman told my Black ass that.
I'll tell you, in America, in America, they like, you late. In Africa, they like, we're glad you made it.
So they said to me, don't bring that Big Ben shit to no West Africa.
Please don't.
We ain't in London. We don't do that. Okay? We on sundial. In other words, because my father kept saying, well, when is Sir Leaf going to come? When is he coming? He's going to come when he gets here. My father was so goddamn frustrated. Okay?
And they were trying to say, oh, the Africans are so slow. No, no.
They're not on Big Ben. They just not on Big Ben.
No.
So my point is Miss K, with your fabulous, wonderful self, you're just going to have to, your husband or your man is going to have to start watching you allocate. Okay? You can't just throw your stuff together. You can't just throw it together. Yeah. And let me just say this. And if you think you are exempt from getting them stockings, them shoes, that pocketbook, that dress, that hair, that makeup, that handbag, and all that shit that your great-grandmother had to do, if she had to do it, you got to do it. Mm-hmm. You just have to do a little more better time with your allotment. And make sure that she understands. And you know what? Maybe I'm going somewhere at 5. I need to start at 3.
If it means that much to you.
All right. Turn my music on. I need to get the candle, whatever I need to do. But all that, my hair is over. No.
And like, and Yate, I'm sorry, Cheryl. And Yate, I'm not a life coach, but I keep highlighting Yate because she shared that yesterday on her podcast, and her friend was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that too. But these are things that we can do. We can help you navigate that. And the hair coaching, as a cosmetologist, this is something that we could, if you are a cosmetologist, we could offer this as a service. Are you struggling with your hair? Are you obsessed with your baby's hair? We could ask 3 key questions that lets you know you need hair coaching. So if you're one of those people who just got to swear by that bonnet and you just want to tuck your hair up under, you're saying stuff like, my hair won't braid down, all this other, no, you need a hair coach. Okay. And I think that's a good segue into helping people understand what's going to take to manage your persons, because that's what you're doing. Okay. So if you're selling bonnets, I see you over there. Wait a minute, I forgot her name right quick. I see Kenyatta. I hear you going to sell the rest of them bonnets and then going to get y'all some scarf. Forget them satin pillowcases. They ain't gonna help you. It's the money grab. Just take your butt to bed.
I'll be honest with you. Do y'all want to know my secret?
What's yours?
You ready?
We ready.
Damn with all that silk. Damn all that. You really want to be high post, Miss K? You ready? Get you some cashmere, baby. It mimics the same fiber of the hair.
Look at Kai. Kind of like, you better stop it, Judy.
Yeah, get you some cashmere, baby. Go on and get you a cashmere, baby. And guess what? And you're going to sleep like a baby because it also is soft. It's just fabulous.
Here go Kai.
What you talking about, Willis?
If y'all need to help me, let me just say this. Ladies, we got to up our game. We got to stop this ghetto. Look, let me tell you something. Cashmere
pillowcases, okay? Now, y'all done got y'all last nugget.
No. I didn't say no damn cashmere pillowcases.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A cashmere scarf.
A cashmere scarf. Sorry, Lawana. Nope. Cashmere scarf. Yes, she said cashmere it is. Sorry, Lawana. Cashmere scarf.
Or a cotton blend. A nylon cotton blend. They're absolutely fabulous. Maybe I'll send a couple to Kilolo. So she can give a witness. She can be like, damn, this is just
look at she's like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to get out of bed. No, yeah, just go on ahead and get you a cashmere scarf and tie it, around your head. Me, y'all know I'm vain. I'm going to bed like this. I get up, I comb my head in the morning. It just depends on what mood I'm in.
You just lay it across the bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just lay it across, and then you'll get up all refreshed.
Look at Lawana. We love you, birthday girl. All right, guys. We have been on this for 2. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to hook you up, sis.
All right, she got you. When she sends it to the salon, I will make sure you get your cashmere scarf, Lawana. That's gonna be from us. All right, guys, we've been on here for 2.5. This is the longest I think we've been on this podcast. So this was a good one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Cheryl is going to show you guys what you have to do right now to help us get a little bit more cousins in the chat.
Come on, get some more cousins.
All right, hit that thumbs up button. You have to admit this one was the bomb. And don't forget, Fatu is going to be with us this Thursday at 9 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about the community. Let me make sure I get this right. I don't want to say this wrong. It's I gotta get it up. Hold on, I'm gonna say it right. The Commission on the Status of Women Convention, and that is happening right now in New York City. She's going to be here for about 2 weeks. They serious about this. And we up here crying. We up here crying about 2 days or 3 days. She's going to be here for 2 weeks. That's how intense this conference is. I'm telling y'all, it's levels to education. So and I hear you, Trish, about some Zoom stuff like that. So we can create some of that in a series. But for the Afro Hair Science Summit, prepare, save up some money, get on a plane or drive, whatever you want to do, catch a train and come join us at the Beauty Under One Roof Summit. Sure, you want to close. Oh, I forgot one little thing. If you are in the greater Cleveland area, Bedford Heights High School Cosmetology is now open and they are accepting clients. So please, let's support our cosmetology schools. The pandemic had everybody all shut down. So this is from their cosmetology instructor. She posted it on social media. I promised her that I would share this. So if you are in the greater Cleveland area, please go and check out Bedford High School Cosmetology program. And they have a plethora of services on their menu. So go check them out. All right. So sure, you want to Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. And then I have it. It's right here. I didn't scroll up high enough. That's why. And if you are a licensed cosmetologist, barber, natural hairstylist, or a hair aficionado, then join us. Let me take this down right quick, Cheryl. Join us the last Sunday of the month, right? That's going to be at Urban Cuts Barbershop located on Lorraine. We are going to be honoring a 20 plus year in business award is going to go to Shireen Fountain and Mr. Mook. All right, Mr. Mook Robinson. So he is the owner of Diamond Cuts Barbershop. So join us every last Sunday of the month. We're going to host a fête du jour that is French for day party, and it's brought to you by the Beauty and Barber Collective. If you want to host a fête du jour in your own city, email me at afrohairscience@gmail.com and I will give you the layout of how to do it. Cheryl will create the flyer for you. Just use the same format that we're using, and you can host your very own fête du jour at your place of business. All right. And that's our gift to our community. All right. I think I did. How did I do that? Cheryl? Was that
fabulous?
Good? All right. So Cheryl, close us out with a closing thought on scalp care. And we'll be back next week talking about those scalp disorders.
Well, let me just say this. The best thing that you could detox is your mind. Because what is most toxic to most of our procedures and things that we think, taking toxic thinking into beauty supply stores, when those things do not really align truly with the results we want to see, talk to somebody. Get a first and second opinion. And that is the best counsel and consultation I could give at this point. So.
All right. There you have it, guys. We thank you so much. I know. I love that day. That Yate, that's my boo. I love her. Please go check her out on Real Roots.
It's going to be fabulous.
She is really, really good. We're very proud of you. We love you so much, okay? We got to meet you in person, too.
Yeah, you're killing it,
Yate. We got to meet you in person, Yate. All right, guys. You have a wonderful night. We'll be back on Thursday with Miss Fatu. All right, guys? You know what we say when we're signing out, right? It's always about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got it, don't want it, can't stand it, hell, you plan on cutting it off, we say don't even worry about that, because bald heads are beautiful too, and so are you. Thank you, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We love you guys. Sure, I love you.
Hey, man, you're my girl. Love you
okay,
too.
Boo. All right, good night, guys. We love y'all. Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
That was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed her. Hey! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.